But then again, I thought if I did get fired, I could go on Instagram and be like, can you believe they fired me? Then I go viral. Like one of my older sister was telling me, sometimes where you looking, maybe you need to honestly get up, maybe get on a plane and just go somewhere different. So I just feel like if people pay attention, and use the love languages, understand people more, relationship would be so much more easier.
Or you don't bring them to New York, like their first.
Oh, so what? I take them in the bushes to Oklahoma. Where I'm gonna take them? I have such a strong connection with Michael, just like a lot of other people. But we talk about me. So,
welcome everyone to Music Junkies, a podcast about people sharing extraordinary stories about how music has impacted their lives.
Oh my God. Welcome everyone to Music Junkies. It's round two. Our guest today is a dynamic entertainer, speaker, entrepreneur, and game-changing trendsetter who aims to inspire. She had us laughing so hard in 2002 when she was on the show. Please welcome back. Get ready for her spanking, Miss Francois.
Wait, she said 2002. Am I that old? Like what?
Oh yeah. 2022. Geez, I should be a fucking millionaire on this podcast by now if it was 2002. That's hey.
Oh,
that'd be awesome, right? If I was doing it for that long and I just finally got you back. I'm like, oh God.
Exactly. Obviously, I wasn't that great of a guest.
10 years later. Geez, I guess I'll have her back.
That's funny.
How are you?
I am wonderfully well. I mean, I aged gracefully, even though it was 2002, but thank you.
10 years ago, you look great. I've been watching you on Instagram. You're really, you're blowing up this space a little bit, and like you're more and more provocative. Like I feel like each picture you're losing more and more clothing. Like I'm not like you're getting in shape. What's happening here?
Of course, now people are like, we gotta look her up. That sounds like close to prostitution or something.
Oh man, I love it.
At least they're gonna increase the people following, because everybody gonna be like, we gotta follow her.
Yeah, she barely wears any clothes. Let's get her. Let's follow her. I think now we should start doing like topless Music Junkies podcasts and see what happens.
Girl, then that's it. That's mean you have arrived. Okay, that's next level. Changing the game. That's what you do.
That's right. My OnlyFans account is topless Music Junkies. I'll be like that girl that wears that mask so nobody will even know it's me. And I'll have one of
in this day and age, I'm pretty sure they'll figure it out in no time. Okay, so I'm like, I give up. I thought about doing OnlyFans a few times, but I'm like, I have to be making that amount of money that I'll quit my job, because the kind of job I do, I won't have no job. But then again, I thought if I did get fired, I could go on Instagram and be like, can you believe they fired me? Then I go viral and then I get even more famous if it were. You see, thought that.
So if you're on OnlyFans, what's one thing that you think of yours that would sell really well?
Yeah, I mean, I look good. That's about it. I mean, maybe I show a titty or something. I mean, like in my show, I interviewed someone. She was a preacher and she turned to OnlyFans and she make an average of $100,000 a month. And the cool thing about her, she's like, everyone always assumes more negative things with OnlyFans, but she's like, sometimes the guys pay her to just have a conversation. She don't even have to do much. Sometimes she said they pay hundreds of dollars for like her underwear and she mails it. So again, it's what you choose to do, because a lot of times what you choose to do, if you want to make more money, maybe you'll have to show a nipple. But they had the people that do the hand and the foot, they don't want to see my crusty corns and stuff, so I won't be doing no foot.
And then, like, are we talking like underwear on a hot summer day or underwear when it's snowing outside? Like, depends.
But this is what I think, right? Do they really know who underwear it is? You just said it could be someone else's underwear. It could be your mom's underwear you send in. They don't really give a damn. They just want to sniff something. And I mean, most of the time, I'm sure you try to be cute, just like when you have a man or whoever, you try to spray up all this stuff with all the nice smelling, you bathe extra, whatever the case might be. So I think it's decent underwear. Why are you nasty? What kind of underwear you planning? You planning to send underwear with skid marks or something? You just on another level. Ain't no way paying for that.
I'm like concerned. Like I'm. This could actually be a really good business for us. Like we could hire women to like just wear underwear all day, and we could go and sell those underwear. Like
Honestly,
$1 million
in this
a
day and
month.
age, one thing is an amazing idea, and it's if you execute it, I could just imagine that could be the next level, because they'll have the people be like, oh, that's nasty, and they have the other people line up to open accounts just to get an underwear. What are we gonna call it? Like Francois
Yeah.
Smith? What?
Oh, panty sniffers. That's what we'll call them, panty sniffers. Making millions, sniffing panties, one panty at a time.
You never know. Now, I might steal the idea. You might try to sue me in a year or something, talking about you gotta get 40%.
Hey, you know what? I just had a reading the other day, and they literally said that I'm on the verge of, like, somebody's watching me because they know that I have a really good idea, and they're gonna steal my idea.
No, they say it happens all the time, but technically it's not stealing if you didn't execute it, right?
Right, that's right.
Okay, so that's when people mess up a lot.
That's
Check
right.
me. Panties for sale.
Fucking panty sniffers. Anyway, so you're back for round 2. So what was your experience putting your playlist, like your second playlist, together?
You know what I realized about myself? I'm like, oh my God, I'm like stuck in the 80s. Most of the songs tend to be like, I'm not even that old in my mind. But sometimes when you look back, you're like, God damn, am I that old? Because you know, when you were younger, I remember looking at my mom. My mom, I think she was in her early 30s. And I remember telling her one time, when are you going to die? Because I thought, being my mom's age, she's ancient. And now that I'm way past that time when I told her when she's going to die, I'm like, am I that old that I'm like, oh, I love this song, and everything is, I remember the song and I remember where I was. But the song is like 30 plus years old. This is some shit. It's like I'm so disconnected from, it's disconnected from now, to the point where I'm like, I gotta find a decent song that's like 3 years old. You know, let me try to stay in the game and be hip.
Yeah. And you can't, and you know what I've been noticing a lot lately too, is like people are putting out there on social media, like, this song is 35 years old, and you're like, no, it can't be 35 years.
You know what's the worst? When you're like in a party and the song come on, you're like, oh, that's my jam, that's the and then you're like, 1995. You're like, what? But in your mind, that was last week. That shit was, it's crazy to me. It's scary.
It
you
is
know what
scary.
I'm saying? And I think that's why you definitely have to be present in your life. Like, because when you're in your 20s, you swear to goodness, you're going to, in your mind, you're still 20 something. You're living your best life. But when you look, so many things have slowed down. Like certain back pains. Like just the other day, someone is like, oh, if I want to go to this event, this party where, you know, you're standing, I'm Trinidadian, so you soca and jump in. And I said, do they have seats? I was not standing up no 5 hours to loudspeaker music. When you're in your 20s, you're leaning on the speaker, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, if it have no seats, my dear, and it's not VIP, I can't go. I listen at home.
I'm a VIP girl too. I'm like, I'm gonna pay extra.
It's sad.
I'm okay with paying extra, as long as I have my own bathroom, even if it's an outhouse, if it's like got gold, you know, like, come on.
That just means your ass old, okay? That's all that is saying. Yeah. It didn't level up. You just old. Back in the day, you couldn't care. Like, oh my God, I'm here. My friends, we sweating, we drinking all the same thing.
I'll pee right in the bush. We're fine, whatever. No, I'm like, I'm not going if there's not VIP. And there only better be like 20 VIP tickets sold, because I don't want a big crowd around me.
Oh my God, isn't that crazy?
It is.
And it's only now when is something you don't realize until all of a sudden you're like, what the hell? Like, where am I? How old am I? How did I get here? It's crazy. And even when I think back to my clothing choice has changed. I mean, back in the day, I was naked. Like it was like a panty and a bra, everything was see-through. I don't know why I spent money on all these see-through outfits, because everything was like a panty and a bra. I don't get it, because I used to go to a lot of dance hall clubs and stuff, because my boyfriend at the time, he was a DJ. Girl, when I say naked, okay? Now I'm like, even my shorts now, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna get a 3/4 shorts. It's close to my knee. back before there was something we called pum pum shorts, which basically should explain how short they was. Your pum pum was squeezed up. I said, "Oh my God, my ass is old." But I like to say I'm seasoned. It sounds nicer.
That's right. We'll still break your back if you want to challenge us. All right, you ready for your first song?
Always ready.
All right.
Annette moving extra
right.
quick to a slow song. The song is like this. Annette is like,
we can talk. All right.
This is when you know you're of a certain age, because that was Tevin Campbell, and he had that when he was like early teen years, right? That was someone I had on my wall, like, oh my God, until I got older and found out he swings different ways. So that was kind of disappointing. I was like, my God, but I was like, I'm gonna meet him. And I loved him on Fresh Prince. Like Tevin Campbell was the man, and everything was just, I'm in love. That teenage crush that you have that you think gonna honestly come true. And then when you find out he swings his thing somewhere else, you're like, I guess not.
Well, you could just do anal.
Whatever you into, Anna, do not force that on me, my dear. Okay, that is
Okay, so
between you
how
you're
long
projecting
did
right
you
now.
find
You're
out?
projecting.
So back in the day, we would have all these posters on our wall, including that guy. And we really didn't know about their sexual. We just assumed. Our assumption was you were a male, you liked women. It just was,
Right.
it is what is it? It is.
That was the old-fashioned way, I guess.
Yeah. So now, like, how long when did you find out that he swings the other way?
Some years ago, but I was still in denial. Cause again, cause I was how old? Like 13 when I was in love with Tevin Campbell. So you remember every time you hear a song or think of someone, you go back to when you're 13.
Yeah.
So I go back to that time when he was on my wall and I'm in love, and he was in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and he was about to date the kid or whatever. So in my mind, he's still fine and I have a chance. And I said he swings a few ways, so I still have a chance.
Yeah.
But he seemed like when I see him now on certain shows, he seemed like he's one of those people that have an attitude problem. So now back then, everybody's wonderful and Tevin Campbell is a nice guy. That's what you get. But now when you have social media and then you find out more things, he doesn't seem to be the nicest person.
And the crazy part is because you're so confident, us both confident women, we believe we can turn them. We're like, well, they just haven't had a really good woman yet.
Again, and it seems to be whatever she is thinking. I think
right?
the same
Like
way.
we believe that. We're like, it's fine. Okay, you're gay today. We'll see in
Annette, I can't turn nobody. If you like dick to dick to dick to dick, there's no way. In my mind, okay? Whatever you've been trying out and you think hasn't been working.
Have you ever dated a guy that went the other way?
Huh?
Have you ever dated a guy that later
Not to my knowledge. He didn't tell me.
You're like,
yeah. I mean, sometimes you suspect certain things because some people be like, oh my God, girl, you never know. Yeah. But I you know what, and I don't want to know, to be honest. I'm good.
Weird.
Yeah, I'm no thanks. Yeah, like let me just believe that you were straight. Okay.
Yeah. Even all the weird stuff you wanted to do, I'm still gonna say
yeah, I'm good.
All right, this guy, I love this guy. Billy Ocean. Guy is just amazing.
First of all, the fact that you say you love that guy, you must be mad old. First of all, ain't nobody. First of all, when they hear that, they're like, what the hell is that? Okay? You're like, I love this guy. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm stuck in the 80s too. I don't know why.
And then someone is like, Billy Ocean? What the ocean is that? Like, nobody, because I have said this my name 100 times because I know so much of his songs. Caribbean Queen, right? And everyone is like, I never heard. And he's like in his 70s now and he's still performing. He was in 2022. He had like a concert in New York. People go. I just wasn't here at the time, but I was like, oh my God, if I came back in time, I would go. And he's in the UK, and he performs all over. He's just up there in age, but good, great voice. Everything is still supposedly where it's supposed to be, just older. But and honey, nobody knows Billy Ocean. And to me, I just remember one of the things reason I love Billy Ocean because he's Trinidadian, and a lot of people don't know that.
Oh,
So that was like being from Trinidad, and as a kid, like knowing this person, like he made it, and he made it in America. That's a big deal for anybody coming from a small country, especially an island like Trinidad and Tobago. So I love me some Billy Ocean, and every song he sings is always so sweet and calming and positive, and it's amazing.
Yeah, so I love him because my husband loves Loverboy.
Old Black Man.
Oh my, yes, he loves them. But my girls walk down the aisle to that song. And
Shut up!
yes.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so it was really, really cool. So like I love it. So anytime my husband hears Billy Ocean Loverboy, he goes wild and he dances. And it doesn't matter where we are, like we could be at a party and the song comes on and he'll just start dancing. So there's a special place for Billy Ocean in my heart too.
That's awesome. So you guys definitely should be looking up Billy Ocean if you never heard of Billy Ocean. Amazing music.
Yeah.
And he's not a one-hit wonder. He has several hits, okay? And I think people hear certain songs and just don't know who the singer is. You know, they're like, oh, or sometimes I realize sometimes when you know songs is from commercials, that you might hear commercials and you have no idea it's actually from a real song. But Billy Ocean is the man.
I love it. So since 2002, have you been on a date lately? You have a man
What's
in your
up
life?
with this 2002 woman? I can't. And
right.
mind you, then
Are
you
you
said
still
2002,
single?
that was 10 years ago. So your math is off, your year is off.
Are you still single?
I am still single, unless you heard differently.
Okay, so all those guys that are on your Instagram wall with you, those are
What the
just
freaking man you see on my Instagram? Tell me which man you see on my Instagram. Eh?
you've been bumping butts with a couple of those guys.
So,
I see.
my thing is, I have dated, they just didn't work out, and I will take responsibility for some of those things, because some people who I met, you know when certain things is like a hell no. It's like, here's a big red brick in your face, not even a flag. And then sometimes I think for me, I'm like getting older, and sometimes you go through certain phases like, maybe I should settle, maybe I can't find anything better, maybe, and then you talk yourself into a relationship, but just realizing you're just not happy. The good news is they don't last that long. So I am proud of myself for that, but I will take responsibility. It's like I have my standards and I should stick to them.
Okay, so me and you, I'm a guy though, we're on our first date, right? And you're kind of excited, right? You swiped right and I said yes, and we meet, we're on a date. What is like 2 big red flags that I first give you out on a date that you're like?
First of all, is what your attire is, right? If you're
Oh,
gonna do this living in the sweatsuits and you're like late 30s and the cap is backwards and you're slumping on your chair, like just the initial thing, people always say it's what's in your heart that counts, and I'm totally against that. Okay, that comes after. This is what I'm gonna see. So the red flag, don't come to me with no sweatsuits and like you going jogging with your sneakers. And I don't really care where we're going. Like, it's the first date. First of all, just do a little extra. So that's one red flag. What's the other red flag? When you're speaking to me and it sounds like you never actually went into the school and you just hung out outside, that's a problem. Okay. So you need to be able to form sentences. And I think people might think that it's so, mind you, that's just 2 initial stuff. We didn't even get into anything yet. But that's 2 huge red flags for me. No, because I can't be walking around looking like supermodel and then you looking like my bodyguard. It doesn't work. It has to match. And I think people overlook some of these things. And again, we women, I'll change him. I'll tell him what to wear. No, I'm not your mommy. You already had one of those and she should have done a better job.
yeah. It's crazy though. What's out there?
You telling me? Sometimes I tell my friends, I said, let me just stand outside and just watch some men pass by. And you're watching like, this is the shit. Like, what the hell? And you know what I realize as I get older, like some of the men, like we all continue to grow. We all know if you stop growing, you stop learning, you die. But some of them is like stuck. Fine, I might like music from the 80s, but you don't see me looking like Cyndi Lauper, right? Or walking around like Madonna in some pointy bra. Like things have changed, do adjust. But some men, I don't know if they're going through, and I can't even say the midlife crisis is like different crisis they go through. Like, yeah, I gotta keep my cap. I still gotta braid my hair. You have a receding hairline, you can't braid your hair, bro. Like it's scary.
It is
You
scary.
know, and that so I firmly believe, like one of my older sister was telling me, sometimes where you're looking, maybe you need to honestly get up, maybe get on a plane and just go somewhere different. You know, it might be just totally different. Like sometimes if you remember, it's the same thing we do almost every day without realize it. You get up, you brush your teeth, you bathe, you go, you drive the same place to the same job. It's the same people you're seeing. Unless we do something different, you're gonna get the same thing. And that goes with dating. But that's why I say it's still my responsibility. So I had to make that decision. I'm going to get up and go somewhere different. But why? I'm hoping the mailman or the UPS guy might come by, be like, oh my God, you got me a package. You cute. What are you doing later? You know, I don't see why God can't send him straight to my house. I mean, anything is possible, right? If Moses could part the Red Sea, why the UPS guy can't come by and be the one?
Your Amazon bill's like $9,000 a month. But you keep missing the delivery, right? You're like, God, I gotta stop telling them leave it on the door. I just want to meet these guys.
You know what? That's smart. I'm gonna leave a note now. Call me.
Yeah.
If you're between the ages of da-da-da.
That's right. I love it.
Because he got benefits and stuff. That's like he got a good job. And he's strong because he lifting packages all day. He work out. See, it's how we see things.
That's right. Perception's everything. All right.
Thank you.
Song. Fast forward.
Much you got your girl feeling. Wanna show you how.
All right, Beyonce taking over.
Let me tell you, girl. Let me tell you. So I'm old school Beyonce. I'm not a huge Beyonce fan, but I mean, who doesn't like some Beyonce song? But that song, let me tell you what I did. So that was a song that I learned. Like if you ever saw the video, she's like in a t-shirt and she basically dances on the guys like a black and white video. So I had learned like the song and like I really, really like this guy. And so I did the whole thing with the chair and did the whole slow thing. And oh my God, that was fun.
You did?
Yes, I loved it. I don't do boring. Like, you know, oh, hi, honey, how are you? You look nice. No, like that's exciting for someone and do all the moves and the t-shirt thing. That was the whole thing I did. And that was fun. It was exciting. It was memorable. So anytime I hear the song, you're like, it's like a sexy song. Even the words.
It's very sexy.
Don't please don't go try that, okay? And it's not everybody can do what I do, okay? Check you like,
can I
never thought of that.
So what's been new in your life over the last 2 years?
What has been new? I think a lot of stuff with me continuing to work on myself. I have like a coach now. Like I started something called Striving Goddesses, which I basically support women that exploring new relationships or healing from broken ones. So it's similar but not. And it's more of a supportive group because again, one thing that I find, and speaking from my own experience, is after you come out of a relationship, you tend to have forgotten about yourself. So it's like you're somewhat starting over. And I'm trying to avoid women going back to the next relationship without really sorting out some things for themselves. And I think that's where we mess up. A lot of us is either we go from one to the next, or even when we do give ourselves time, we didn't even do anything in that time to heal ourselves or know exactly what we want. And a lot of times we don't even know ourselves. And then we're like, let's get in the next relationship so I can find the one that's gonna do everything right when we didn't even work on ourselves.
Yeah. Do you find the biggest issue that you find with women when they do break up with somebody is just finding their identity again?
Yeah, no, I think they don't even realize how much of their identity they have lost.
Yeah.
You know, Because again, you just keep going, and the thing we keep doing in life, we just keep doing the same thing over and over. So you're like, okay, that didn't work out. Let me just get with, I left John, I'm gonna get with Jonathan and do all the same things. I want to know why that one didn't work either. And then what are we always taking with us? We're taking the purse, the luggage, everything, the same thing in a whole new relationship. Then we blaming Jonathan for what John did. It's a lot. And I think even with our dreams and goals, a lot of time, I don't care how independent we are as women, we do tend to cater. We're still nurturers. So we're always supportive of the man or the kid or whatever the who is special in our life. We're supportive, and then we forget about some of the things we were working on. So it's even remembering those things.
Yeah. How's the show doing?
So I put the show on pause because it was a lot and I wanted to do some other things. So I still have a show. So I have a second show, but the show that Miss Francois, that I paused on, it was just a lot of things I'm doing. So it's not totally ended. I had like a whole 5-year celebration last year, but I only do like specials. So if I really think you're super amazing, fantastic, and special, fine, I'll interview you. But it's more like me deciding, not having, because before I had to put out so much and so much episodes because I'm part of like a network, right? But I started a new show called Caribbean Brilliance.
Oh,
And
tell me.
that's like it still comes with my personality. So my personality is always what makes it different and add that seasoning and spice. But basically, it's Caribbean American people that for me or for other people might see has reached certain heights and they had to go through certain, like their journey was not the easiest because people don't understand when you come from a foreign country, you got to figure out so much. You're in a whole new world. You don't understand something, the accent, you don't understand the culture. It's traumatizing in many areas, and it's according to what age you came when you came to America. So and for some people, like I interview like some doctors, some people who have done some amazing things. And the reason why I co-produced it with someone called Andrew, and the reason why the whole thing come about is that a lot of times people might even pay them any attention, but bringing that certain things to light, someone in a Caribbean country might see them and be like, if they could do it, I could do it. If they've been through that, I can definitely do something big. I can continue to dream. Because I think when you're from a foreign country, we look at America like they know everything. I can't do that because I'm from this small, tiny country and no one sees me. So just to give hope to other people that you're not alone. And if other people have done it, you're able to do it too.
Yeah. Do you love doing it? Are you really enjoying it?
I love it because I still get to be me. My biggest thing is I want to still always be who I am. And I never want to just be inauthentic way. Hi, how are you? My name is Miss Francois. And I'm going to be interviewed now. So I want to be, hey, how the hell you was able to get a degree when you just come to the country? You had a green card? So I want to still be
Did you marry an older guy?
Yeah, exactly. Where's your paperwork? Where's your passport? So I still want to be me and ask honest questions because I feel like a lot of time when people interview people, they try to play it too safe and a lot of questions goes unanswered. And a lot of times when you see people reach a certain level, they go straight from, oh my God, you're a doctor and how is that? But they forget the person maybe didn't have food to eat. They was going from house to house. They got kicked out. They were homeless. Like I want to know that part of the story.
Yeah.
And I want to know how your journey was to get where you are. So other people know that they're able to do it.
That's right. How many people did you have to sleep with in order to get to that position?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And did they write certain letters to make sure they don't, when you reach this level, don't go talk about you because you got to worry about these things now. This is not like
you sign, right?
This is not like the John F. Kennedy days. Not John. Yeah, when he sleeps with Marilyn Monroe and everything is kind of a secret. Now everybody just telling you business. They're going to find out. And it's not going to take 10, 20, 40 years. It's like next week. Scary, man. Can't do shit these days. Everybody recording you.
God damn it. Sucks. All right.
I've been trying to do mad bad stuff, but I'm scared. Like my fiance from back in the day, like before we even had the whole long relationship and went through all that stuff, it was the early days when it was like a back and forth and certain situations going on. And I remember thinking we will never ever get the opportunity to get together. And I used to play this song every day. You know, when you play something morning, noon, and night, and then you cry, then you wipe your tear, then you cry again. So it was one of those songs like I just wanted to, in my mind, since we was never gonna get the opportunity, you're always like, just one more. I'll give you my all if we could just have this one more time together. So it was one of those things. So it's so funny how you could be with someone 15, 20 years ago and certain songs just bring up all these emotions. I ain't gonna bust out and cry on the damn show, but it's like it still strikes a chord. Like it's certain attachment no matter what. You know, I mean, if I see him, I still kind of want to cuss him out. But at the same time, it brings back something soft. And you remember when you were where you were and what you were doing and how you felt at that point in time. You bitch. I mean, but then
why'd you play that fucking song? I have a song like that, Love Bites. I don't know what it is, but he was probably my first real boyfriend. And then when that song comes on, it irritates me. I hate it. It was our song. It just drives me crazy. I'm like, oh,
I know something you want to just erase certain things, like
yeah,
or you just hear it like, take it off.
I'd like to like get hypnotized to like erase that part. It's so weird.
It's crazy. But again, it's part of your journey, right? And I'm sure it taught you some things.
I know. It taught me a lot. That's for sure.
Okay.
You love all these women singers. It's really interesting. I look at your playlist from before and then your playlist today. You know, 10 years later, right? We're not listening to musicals anymore. You've kind of evolved.
I think because you know what? I think when I'm thinking like our first thing, it was certain songs like mostly in my childhood, I would think when I was like a kid, you know, and I think even some of the songs you just played beside the last one, some of these I actually recently would have played like the Billy Ocean and I just dance around because it's just happy music to a point. So I think I'm even in a happier phase than I was before. So I'm choosing to play the stuff that makes me smile and make me feel some joy.
Yeah. How many times have you been engaged?
3 times, I think. I lost count. I'm pretty sure it's 3 times.
3 times. 3 rings? Did you give all the rings back?
No, one I sold because I needed to pay rent.
Okay.
And the other one he took back without me looking. Yeah, and the other one I didn't get a ring. Yeah, I didn't get a ring for that one. It was just like we're engaged, and we got married. I was married back in the day, so we didn't do the engagement. We just got married.
Yeah. Any of those people that proposed to you, you're second guessing? You wish you did?
No, not at all.
No,
I didn't even start. I'm like, not at all. I literally was thinking of a particular ex literally like 2 days ago, right? Because he was fine. And I'm sometimes before I used to be like, I wish I had a second chance with him because I know my mindset then, and he had a different mindset too. And I wasn't confident in myself because he was fine. I remember thinking, oh, I'm ugly, or look, someone gonna take him away from me, like all these things. And those things do affect the relationship, even though he was all into me. But certain things, when I do look back, certain times how he spoke to me, it's amazing. When you're in love, you don't see you're not paying attention. Like you make up excuses for the stuff that's not that great. Like, you know what? Like he didn't believe in my dreams and goals, or he was always kind of like bring it down. Like, you don't need to go to school. What's the purpose of that? Education is not a big deal. Or why you want to be a model, or why you want to do that? Oh, the camera people going to sleep with you and your kid's not going to respect you if you take pictures in your bathing suit. That kind of stuff. So I think back then when I wanted to like someone, I'm like, maybe I should have done this more. Me thinking about it maybe 2 days ago, I'm like, why would I want? I mean, he was fine. That would be the number one reason, but how long that would last. So I have had thoughts in the past about certain exes, but right now, when I think back, there's a reason why we broke up. And so my dad always say, if you break up with them, there is a reason behind it. There's people like Judge Judy that remarried her husband but maybe they both had grown and both had learned, right? So there the room for that. But I think where I am now, those people, I'm sure they have grown and learned, hopefully, but no, thank you.
How many people, when Facebook came out, did you go hunt down and just kind of see where they were at?
Oh, so the weirdest thing, right? So my exes, even again, if I see most of them, that sound like a lot. It's only one I think I might have a good response to. But most of them, if I see them or saw them, it wouldn't be a big deal. I haven't hunted down anyone. One of them do check my Instagram all the time,
Because they see you.
which right. So, and I don't mind, or I don't mind. And again, even though some relationship didn't end, I mean, most relationships don't end on a high positive note, but I guess I don't hold grudges. Because some people that you should walk and try to stab them in the night, but I'm like, I mean, it happened. Like I take my responsibility and I move forward.
That's right.
Maybe I would want to see him and be like, oh, you still look good. But nah, I don't really stalk anybody. Once in a while, I go through, I'm one of those people that have albums. I go through pictures, or even I'm a nerd, so I don't keep them in my phone. I save them somewhere. So sometimes if I'm looking for something, you tend to go through all these pictures from 15 years ago. Maybe I'll take a picture and I'll send it to them in their Facebook, but not with the intent of, oh, we're gonna get back together. It's just memories. I'm like, oh, maybe they want to have this. I'm just weird like that. But that don't mean I want to talk to you. I want to go out with you. No, nothing. It's just a thought, a memory, and here it is.
So wave the magic wand and tell me, ideally, what are you looking for now? Kind of guy you looking for now?
Honestly, it's still Trevor Noah.
Yeah.
So it's been Trevor Noah for a while. And it doesn't have to be Trevor Noah, but that is, a lot of us have a type. Even if you say you don't have a type, you're lying. Because if you look at a lot of people you dated, they tend to kind of have certain mannerisms or certain looks, right? So my look is a Trevor Noah. And I think that comes since I was a kid. I had this crush on this particular guy. So thin, tall, and light skin has been my thing for years. I have dated other people, but that is my type. And Trevor Noah, not because he's cute and he got that nice hair, but he's funny, he's intelligent, he's ambitious, he's from a foreign country, he speaks other languages. So it's all these things. When people hear me say Trevor Noah, and they're like, oh, that's because he's cute. No, it's a lot of other things. I read his book, I've been to his comedy shows. I might know him in person, but I have an idea of him. And that's the idea of the person that I would want to be with. Someone that's supportive, that also pursuing their goals. Like he could have sit down and on the Daily Show for another 5 years. He would have been fine. But that don't mean you have to stay there forever. Even if it's on a high, you should end on a high and do something else that you love to do. And not a lot of people would do that. They would be too scared to do that. And that's the kind of person I want in my life. Someone that's supportive and take chances.
I love it. Okay, so if you're listening out there, you got to be ambitious, take charge, get you
and look like Trevor Noah.
I love it. All right, next song. Right, love it.
Okay. So always come back to my country, because no matter what, you can't take the Trinidadian out of me. Okay. So we have different types of music in Trinidad. You have the soca, and it's running and you throw on yourself and you jump and you sweat and all kind of stuff, right? And then we have that's like more slow, on the slower side. And that's it's like taking the fast and make it into like slow music that you can actually hear some of the words, and it's more of a love song. So I'm still in the love and the joyous mode. Again, whatever you think about or whatever you're doing, that's what you start to attract. So that's why I think I've been listening to these kind of more happy kind of music. But I love me some Cass. He fine too. But it's just a loving song. It's you don't have to do the whole run and jump. You could just be like, I love it, and you're like, oh my God, baby, you. And he talking about a woman, and so it's beautiful.
Are you a
He
hopeless
could come
romantic?
sing that to me anytime. Huh?
Are you a hopeless romantic?
I am. Like, I'm the kind of, like, you see all these things on the internet. He gotta take me here. You gotta, like, I am just, first of all, do something different, right? And instead of going for drinks, can we go for ice cream? You know, instead of going to dinner and sit down, it make me put on this whole fancy dress, all this makeup and heels that's hurting my foot. Can we honestly just take a nice walk in the park? Like we sit down, buy ice cream from the ice cream van that's outside. Like, can we play a game, like a fun game or more interactive something? But again, I think I'm more into can we have a conversation?
Yeah.
You know, like you get me here and that's it. But it's like everybody wants to be flashy and want to do all this fancy stuff. I just want like I just want to I could go to a park, we lay, you know, a blanket out there, you read something to me. Like, oh my God, you getting pussy immediately.
Yeah, right in the park.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
you're a woman of my own heart. But that's why I think a lot of people see me and they're like, even when you go on my Instagram, I'm like, I do the Instagram stuff, but I'm always authentic and I'm still me. If I have some down days, you'll see me post something of how I'm feeling. But I think a lot of people, because I seem like Miss Francois, I'm confident, I'm like out there, they're like, oh, she must be high maintenance. Oh, I can't even talk to her because like they make these assumptions. But I'm like, if you talk to me and you'll be amazed how I'll be barefoot and pregnant in a second. I'm that kind of more wholesome. I'm a home person, but everyone think she must be flashy, she must be out there. She has to wear all. No, just get to know me and take a chance instead of making all these assumptions.
Do you like to be romantic to your partner, or is your expectation them to always be with
Oh,
you?
girl, no, no, no. I'm the one was dancing had the chair and dancing and doing the whole Beyonce routine in the t-shirt. Okay. So yes, I think that was one of my problems. Sometimes I give so much,
Yeah.
and even because I'm giving so much, doing all the romantic thing, I'm the one that plans everything and does everything, and I'm very sentimental. So I'm the person who will put the collage and the videos and get all your friends who you haven't seen in a long time together. Like I'm really thoughtful, and I think in relationships because I do that, they're happy, and in my mind, I'm happy, and I'm not realizing they're not reciprocating.
Yeah.
It's because I'm doing everything. But in my mind, I'm like, we're happy, we're all happy, but I'm the one doing everything.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm romantic all way around. And that's not even my love language. That's a funny thing. I think I am I pay attention to what other people love languages are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a catch.
I'm
God
the
damn.
same. I'm the same way. I am like really thoughtful in the sense I'll do all of those things too. I will put extra energy in that. And then over time, like where I feel like the space is where I am now in my life, I'm kind of like, I don't want to say resentful because that's kind of a strong word, but I do truly wish people would do that back to me because I
Yeah.
do think of all of that stuff, right? If it's your birthday, if it's this, if it's a gift, I hate getting a gift card for somebody for their gift. I want them to be
Right?
like, oh my God, like I talked about this book like 5 years ago and you remember that
Right.
and
You
you
pay
bought,
attention.
yeah,
Yes. And it means so much more because I'm not into the gift card or the money because I feel like you're just gonna spend it. Maybe you went to the grocery store. You didn't do anything that you could remember. Annette gave me this for my birthday. And again, I'm not doing it to say you have to do certain things back for me, but love is still reciprocated. So pay attention to what my needs might be. You
yeah,
know, surprise me with flowers, leave a little note, something. But my love language is acts of service. So you pick up the laundry, you take my car to get air, to gas. Oh, like and so I just feel like if people pay attention, they and use the love languages, have understand people more, relationship would be so much more easier.
no, I agree. I agree.
I know I'm pretty intelligent, my dear.
All right, next song.
Call me anytime you want.
All right, one more time.
So this is it's old, but it's not that old. Maybe it's 8 years old or something. It's by Machel Montano, which is like the biggest soca artist in Trinidad and Tobago. He's the one that took music. If you hear any soca songs, most likely it's Machel, and that's who most Americans would know. Like he sold out Madison Square Garden, which everyone knows, and we have a new arena which is close to my house. It's called UBS Arena. He sold that out like what, a week 2 weeks ago, which is huge for a soca artist from the Caribbean. And that song is still like a grinding song. So we Trinidadian, we whine, which is not drinking, people. It's rotating and gyrating your hips. And that's Trinidadian, just so you know. It's not the way you all be twerking. That's two different things, right? So this song is more about, you and your man and you're like grinding up and you go, well, you know what I'm talking about, yeah. What you
I do that all the time. This is how I get my men.
But it's one of those songs. So you do a little fast, then you do a little slow, and it's like one more wine. So he just telling her, she's like, he just want one more. So one more grind.
I love it.
See, you're learning so much today.
I know. Like, how many of your girlfriends that you hang out with do you have to go, no, that's twerking. You got to do it like this.
Well, and this is the thing. I don't even know that many Trinidadians, if at all. Okay. I mostly know Americans. So that's the other thing. When I want to go to events like this, I don't really know anybody that would understand it. And for me, even though I like a song or I like an artist, it's the history for me. I know Machel since I was like, I don't know, 10, because he's been in this business since he was a kid. So I have memories of when he was 10. When I first met Machel, I was too scared to talk to him. I know his whole history. So I like history. And the fact that he could take the music to that level, I think I enjoy the music a whole other way than the average person would enjoy the music. So, and for the stuff that I like, I don't have a lot of friends that like history and have an understanding of culture and those things. They're like, oh, okay, that song. Oh, no.
Do you think that a lot of people that do come from a different country and they come to America, even though I'm in Canada, maybe even in Canada, they really know a lot about their culture? Like, I feel like when I talk to immigrants, they really know a lot about their culture and you embrace that. And
so for me, I would say yes. And I'm speaking from my experience, or even the people that I know from where I come from, especially in school too. The one thing I do like about growing up in school, we do a lot. Like I went to high school here for maybe a year, and I didn't feel like you all did a lot of the culture stuff. Like when we have different celebrations, like the level where they celebrated, the history of it, like it's like ingrained in you. The participation, like carnival is the biggest celebration. We have kids carnival, adult carnival. You do costume as a project in school, like it's embedded in you. And so, then I think when you go to a foreign country, you're trying to hold on to as much home as you can. So now that you're out of your country, even hold on to your culture even more, and now you even support it even more. Even when you visit home, like you embrace it so much more because you realize how much you miss it.
Yeah.
So definitely. So now when I go home, I'm more of a tourist than the tourist, because I'm like, oh my God, let me do this, let me do that. Let me eat this. Like, it's amazing when you go home. The food that you were eating all the time, you love it, but now you love it. Like, I can't wait to, like in Trinidad, it's doubles. Oh, I can't wait. Oh my God, thinking about it all. Oh, I'm watering. Ridiculous. So definitely we embrace our culture.
No, I love it. I think we miss out on that.
Definitely. But me, I'm fully Trini to the bone. That's what they say. Trini to the bone. I
Maybe
say Trini to the marrow bone, where you bite the bone and you suck out inside of it.
Wow.
That's
I think your man is there with his bone, waiting for you to come back home. I think you might need to go back home and find your man.
Well, and the mom had said that, but I ain't giving nobody no green card, because it's always cute when you go and visit. They're like, oh, she from America. Oh my gosh, she had US dollars. That's a big deal, right? And maybe someone could generally like me and love me, but the chances, what I'm scared of, you come here, and then when you come to America, you have women and everybody, different colors, creed, race, nationality. Now your eyes open big. In Trinidad, is mostly you have Indian and Black for the most part, and you have a sprinkle of everything else. So you're not open to as much things compared to when you go to America and a place like New York. The person, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? And I've heard so many stories of people file for their husband or their wife, and they come up, and then when they come up, all of a sudden you can't find your husband or your wife, because now they're experimenting things they never saw before. They only saw it on TV, so now they get to participate, and then you find out they're cheating on you. I do not feel like going to jail. So no thanks. I've thought about it once in a while, but I think if I did, bring someone from Trinidad, it would be someone who came to America a few times, maybe visited, have a certain understanding of things. And I don't want no one who living in a little house somewhere, never went out anywhere and have no real experience. I'm asking for problems. You know, when someone in a cage, a lion in a cage, they finally get out, I going
Or you
straight
don't
to
bring
prison.
them to New York, like their first.
Oh, so what? I take them in the bushes to Oklahoma. Where I'm gonna take them? Where black people can't go? No, thank you. Where you trying to get me in trouble? Okay, I don't go to any.
It's either that or jail. Like there's not a lot of options.
Exactly, because that's the states where you go to, where more rural and there's not much going on. But I'm still black. Okay, let's not get crazy. Okay, why we keep acting like I ain't black, girl? I might have an accent, but nah, I'm good.
All right, no underwear. Oh man. Okay, there better be a good story behind this one.
Okay, this man name is Dexter Dapp, right? He's Jamaican. But this is why I started liking him, right? He's not for everyone because everything he does is sexual. But when you listen to most of his songs, right? And he's one of like the new artists, right? So he must be in his early 30s or something. When you start playing his song, you're like, oh, this is a romantic song. And he has a nice voice and he go like, even if you don't know what he's saying, you're like, oh my God. Then he starts to go into, but take off your panty and pull up it. And I'm like, what the hell? This is soft porn and music. But for me, it was just something different and something that's more sensual and sexual and just makes you forget yourself. Even when he's performing, he has the woman come up and they just jump on him. And I mean, if you see, I should send you some real Jamaican dancing. They're totally different. Okay, they jump from the ceiling all over and they just jump in right on your dick. Right, and he does all kind of sexual stuff on stage, and women come from everywhere just to grind up on this man. And because the songs is just like, oh, just take your clothes off and just do it.
Wow.
And you need some of that thing. Okay, I know why you looking a little horny and confused right now. But
oh my God, I'm gonna have sex with my husband after this show. What is happening? All right, have you been to any concerts in the last time we chatted? Any shows?
Last year I went to, again, I'm stuck in like, for me, beside the R&B stuff from the 80s, I'm stuck in the 90s with reggae because I was big on reggae. So I went to this huge concert last year with all like Shabba Ranks. You should know Shabba Ranks is only that was the one of the reggae artists that took reggae music from Jamaica and take it to the next level. So it was like all the old school people from the 90s from back in the day. So that was it's amazing when you're singing the song like Mr. Loverman. And so that was amazing, and I had seats. So every time I saw
good food too. Do they have like a bunch of food trucks and stuff like that?
Oh, okay, calm down. I told you I only go to it was in Berkeley, in an arena, my dear. That was back in the day. I even told someone they used to have something called R&B meet reggae, where they used to have like a baby face, and then they team them up with like reggae artists, Boys to Men are reggae artists. So they used to mix it, and they still have it, I believe, in the park. Someone asked me about that last year or something. I said, for me to dirty, first of all, I had to put on sneakers because it's in the dirt. Then I'm like, why was I used to go to this every year religiously, right? And then now I'm thinking back. So my sneakers would get dirty because it's dirt you're kicking, or the grass, if the grass wet or whatever. Then, like you mentioned, it have food truck. Why am I getting food from a truck in the savannah, as we call it, or the park, when dust is everywhere? So I eating corn with dust. I eating food. And I'm like, when you're older, like you think of all these things. I said, and then you're sweating. So you sweating, everybody sweating, you stink, your look stink, your shoes was white, it turned brown, and I eat it. No, not at that level now. I was in Berkeley, the stadium. I had my seat. When my back hurt, I sat. When the song was good, I stood. I waved. I always come with my color flag. We Caribbean people always have our flag. And I sat back down. I'm like, oh. Okay, now I'm not talking about the park and the food truck. What the hell? No.
You're evolving. You're evolving.
Yes, I'm upgrade. Just like you should upgrade your man. You upgrade your surroundings.
All right, I'm concerned by your next bunker.
like a scene from a movie that
You go from like serious R&B, black guy reggae to like the whitest girl.
Well, I didn't want to
singing.
leave you out. I think about you. I was like, she'd be like, I don't know
I
who
gotta
these
get
black people
stuff for
are.
the host.
She's like, I don't know half these songs and what they sing in the songs. She's like, finally a white girl. So the
White
reason
girl.
I like this song is I saw a movie, I think it was last year, and someone else sang the song, and it was one of those corny. I've been watching all these corny movies that like B movies that love stuff where you fly here and you meet the guy and you hate him and then you love him. Those books. So in this song, it was they went to some Caribbean island or whatever, and for the wedding, that was a song they sang. And I remember thinking, I was like, when I get married, this should be the song that I mean, maybe I'll call her to sing or whatever, but maybe I'm not sure. Maybe I just play the record. But it was just a beautiful song. And it's amazing. I've heard this song many times before, but I never really paid it any attention till, you see the movie, the love and the scene, and all of a sudden the song just hits different. So I was like, that is just the wedding song.
I love it.
It's amazing.
So what do you got coming up in the next, call it 3 to 6 months? You got anything exciting coming up on your shows?
Well, it's not pregnancy.
Well,
but you never know. You never know.
You never know.
Because I always say, at this age, come on, ain't got no 2 years in datings. Hi, how are you? Oh my God, this is my resume. Let me see yours. Oh my God, I think this book makes sense. Pregnant in like, what, 2 months?
2 months.
Because I can't, but there's still a lot going on. So I've been doing more speaking engagements, which has been exciting. Like I said, I started Striving Goddesses with the women. So I do workshops. I have one that's basically about the self-identity and the rediscovering yourself. Is just, and that particular workshop is all about concentrating on you, like why celebrating you. What are some ways to remind yourself? Like I have something called a power list, like all the things you have accomplished, you need to write them down. So anytime you get imposter syndrome or you don't believe in yourself, you just read that list and you remember where you were and who you were being at that time. So it's one of those things, just working on yourself. I have one called, I don't know if you heard about Toastmasters, but I was chosen for a workshop. So my workshop is on gift, passion, and purpose. So I'm doing a lot of workshops, a lot of speaking. So that's really good. And it's the same thing. It's like evolving and growth and doing other things, even on the entertainment side. Since December, I was super busy. In March month that passed with Women's History Month, super busy, exhausting, busy. The only good thing is when you like what you're doing, you're still allowed to get tired, but it's nice to love what you're doing. So it's a lot of things that I'm working on, especially when it comes to women. And it's just like us, like right now I'm doing something with Woman to Woman Network where we do monthly brunch, because a lot of times we say we want to level up, we want to meet people that are doing what we're doing, entrepreneurs and business like-minded, but then you're still hanging out with your friends that just want to get drunk every weekend. So I create a space where we meet up for brunch and I advertise it, and total strangers come together and you could exchange ideas, support each other, so many things, because there's so many people. Everybody's looking for everybody, you just don't know where to look. So I'm just trying to create a space for that we can meet each other, and you never know, sometimes it's not even the person sitting there, it's maybe who that person might know. And I think we need to honestly support each other a lot more than we are doing, instead of looking like, why her hair look like that, what kind of earrings is that, oh, she smells funny, what, her man ain't even that cute, and how old is her kids, oh, she's a hoe. So instead of women always bashing each other, let's get together and genuinely support each other. And that's a lot of the things that I'm doing now, supporting each other, and I'm continuing to grow myself. But the next time I talk to you, woman, I better be pregnant with a half of a child, because I already delivered the first one.
10 years later, let's hope.
You are with your bad math. You'd be like, next year, what's going on? Isn't it like 20 years since I spoke to you?
And that's our 20-year reunion. All right, we're going back in time again.
Oh my, this is my joyful, oh my God.
You love it.
You have no idea. Do you know what the coolest thing about this song? He plays that beat for a good minute. And I don't think people even realize, if you listen to that song, it's like, dun, 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 and you're still going 30 seconds and you're like, what the hell? Where's the words? And even again, I don't just listen to anything. It's always some history behind it. Like this was one of Luther Vandross' first songs, right? And he had to pay to do the song on his own. And if you look at it, it's just some guy walking on with like the video, like one of those radios, if people don't know. Because that I know song ancient, and it's just him sitting in the studio singing the song. Like people don't realize you hear about Luther Vandross, he's the, oh my God, he was a man, but people don't know people's story when you have to pay out of pocket just to get a song which no one thinks is going to be a hit that end up being a hit. So when I hear that, I think of that story, and it's still a happy song. Like when you like you just want to dance, you just want, it's one of those dancing in the street, if it's raining or not, who cares, let's just dance and have some fun. So that's why I said I'm like in a joyous time in my life, just loving where I am, loving me, being present purposefully and intentionally, and just I feel like if I'm being this way and being who I am to the 100%, I'm going to attract who I'm supposed to attract. And that's not only in relationships, it's friendships as well.
Yeah, I agree. What's your favorite thing to do on a Sunday, like your day off?
I go to church.
Yeah.
This is like my church dress. Yeah. So I started going back to church in December, and I found this amazing church called Next City. And I think the number one thing I love about the church is not a bunch of old people gonna die tomorrow, because a lot of churches tend to have older people. When I say older, it's not like 40, it's talking about like 60 and older. And it tends to be a lot of women who their husbands are home because they decided to turn their life around, but their husband didn't. But this church is just a nice mixture. It's a lot of families. You see teenage kids, you see little kids, you see the husband and wife coming to church. So I think I enjoy being in that kind of environment. And it's more relaxed church. I still go dressed up cute. They dress down in their jeans and stuff, but it's a relaxed environment, and it's like for any and everybody. And you see so many different races. It's just I feel at home in some ways.
Do you feel like you were on this joyous path before that, or do you feel more joy now that you're going back to church?
I think it had something to do with it, because I think I grew up in church, and you go in and out of church, but I think I see things so much differently now that I'm excited to get up and go to church. I think before something was like, okay, I had to because my mom forced me, or I have to because God is going to strike me down. But it's like I'm getting up, I'm putting my clothes on. It's like, oh my God, I can't wait to go in the back and what he's gonna say today. And a lot of times when you go to church, all of a sudden he say one thing and like, oh my God, it's for me. So it was one of those Sundays today also. And I have an awesome preacher. He's amazing. And nice age group too, not I think he's in his early 40s. So all that, I think I'm loving it.
I love it. I am like, it's so amazing to have you back on the show. And it's really cool that your last song is Michael Jackson, right? Because I know from our last episode, you absolutely loved Michael Jackson. So are you ready for your last song? Here we go.
Of course.
Love Michael Jackson, hey? And I love that that's your last song. And I love that, our last time we were together, we spent a lot of time on Michael Jackson. So it's kind of cool. I love it.
So this, like, it's so weird, right? So I have such a strong connection with Michael, just like a lot of other people, but we talk about me. So it's like, even when I hear Michael, I have a hard time listening to his music because I tend to tear up or cry. And that song was exactly, I listened to that when I was in that transition, because when I came to America, I was living in New Jersey and went through one of those immigrant stories where they put you out and they say all these mean things to you or whatever the case might be, and I had nowhere to go or whatever. But I remember listening to that song over and over, because the whole point of the song was, no matter how much you hurt, no matter how much your heart is broken, just smile, like it'll get better. So I remember so many times crying through the whole song, and I would just sing it, and it would just bring me, it's not like it brought me joy, but it put me a little at peace, that no matter what was going around me, it'll be okay. So I get to say that I'm okay.
Yeah, I love that. And I want to, allow you to leave some words of wisdom, but I think you just did. You know what I mean? I think you like totally just did, and no matter what we're going through in our lives, I totally agree. It's gonna get
And
better. We just have to
yeah,
get.
and that's why I always say no matter what, I like to add the humor, because I always tell people, I encourage people to look up laughter, look up the endorphins, the things that it does. It really, even if you fake a smile in the beginning, if you walk past someone and you smile, you don't know what that person is going through. But when you smile or you laugh, that endorphins releases so many things, that the stress, it gives you, it's just a lot. And people, I don't think people fully understand. It's like they call it the natural painkiller. So whatever you're going through in that moment, it will cease in that particular moment, and something that's all you need.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you, Miss Francois, for joining us today on Music Junkies. Like, follow, subscribe, stalk her, send her your resume, right? She'll send you a nitpick. She's not on OnlyFans yet, but she will be, right? We're gonna sell underwear together. We're gonna make millions of dollars, and I am so excited to see you again in 10 years, right? Pregnant. 2 babies already, pregnant, and a chocolate daddy. We don't know what's gonna happen. We'll see. You never know.
You never know. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Always one of my best interviews. It's just totally different. Like, people don't understand. Like, you definitely have some great ideas, and you just making a difference. It's not the same boring thing all the time. So thank you so much for being different.
Thank you.